bit, it looked like he actually just Yamato'd one of his own units, so I want to see that again to see if that is indeed what happened. It looks like we're okay. So here we are. He has got all his units in siege mode, getting ready to unsiege them. Here are the Stalkers and the High Templars from Hasu. And let's see, I want to see if he actually Yamato'd one of his own units on accident. That is exactly what it looked like to me, but I'm not sure if I saw that right or not. Healing up the siege tanks. Okay, and here we go. Sorry about that. Anyways, I know that is incredibly noobish of me to do, but I wanted to see this again, and I didn't want to have to recast the whole thing because this apparently is a very long, drawn-out economic game. But anyways, it looks like TLO is scanning out in front, trying to see if those Stalkers are in position there. Obviously, because when the siege tanks are out of siege mode, it's much easier for those Stalkers to pick them off. And it looks like moving in here, blinking up and trying to focus fire down some of these units. Yeah, and he did. Indeed, TLO did Yamato one of his own tanks, which I know that wasn't even really significant, but I just thought that was hilarious. So a little unusual miss micro there from TLO. But anyways, he does have 4 battlecruisers right now. So using a lot of battlecruisers, which as I mentioned, that's not something that I see a whole lot of Terran players utilize in 1v1s in StarCraft 2 right now. So it's definitely cool to see those high tier units. And I'm kind of surprised that we have not yet seen any kind of carriers or mothership or anything like that. Although, speak of the devil, there is a mothership warping in right now. And if we look at the production menu, we can see there are a lot of upgrades going down for Terran. Looks like getting the ship defense, which is right now researching and getting ship level 2 weapons for his BCs. So apparently he is going to commit somewhat heavily to these BCs, more coming out right now, and he does have another one building. So just slowly building up this battlecruiser force, and if we don't see some significant anti-air from Hasu, he may be in some pretty big trouble here, as a lot of BCs can be very troublesome to deal with. Even for a Protoss player who's got a decent number of Stalkers, he really needs to get some... oh, actually, speak of the devil, there are some carriers coming in here as well. So just as I mentioned that I was wondering why he didn't have any carriers or motherships coming in, he, of course, is going to build them. But anyways, it looks like LiquidTLO moving out, trying to build some cannons here, fortifying this forward position. He wants to take over his own high-yield base here. And going to blink up and try to take down... Oh, and some great feedback there, causing some additional damage to those BCs pretty quickly here. Managing to take out 2 of them. Oh, and some great Psi Storm. Oh my goodness, just so much Psi Storm from those High Templars. That was a ton of damage just to those Marines with a few High Templar Psi Storms that are well placed, and managing to pick off another BC here. So with some great use of Blink Micro, in addition to, oh my goodness, and another BC going down here. He has lost almost every BC in that quick attack, and managing to save a decent amount of his Stalkers here as well, getting in another High Templar, and going to try to pick off this last BC, barely getting it, and blinking up right into the middle of these siege tanks here, which is going to significantly reduce the amount of damage they can do. Of course, jumping inside the range, although these last few Stalkers are going to get taken down here relatively quickly. As these last couple tanks come in, and that Ghost cloaking with only 28 hit points left, managing to chip in there a few more shots so that he can manage to take down those last few Stalkers. So some very back and forth action there for a minute, and Hasu managing to take down every one of the BCs that were on the map for TLO at that point in time. And it looks like the mothership is going to sit over this high yield expansion here, and I don't know who exactly was pinging that. Do we have observers in here? Yes, we do. So apparently people observing this game, I'm guessing, were pinging that so that they could point out that Hasu indeed does have his mothership out on the map, and it looks like there are going to be some siege tanks fortifying this position up here at the high yield, taking down this proxy pylon, and probably going to take down this proxy cannon here relatively shortly as well. And a couple carriers moving out with this Protoss army now, although it doesn't look like the mothership is going to get into play just yet. Pretty good Psi Storm there, doing some damage to those Marines that were up on the cliff, although there are still a lot of Marines there back behind everything else, and managing to take down a lot of interceptors. There are still 3 BCs in the map here, it looks like, though, and no medevacs for those Marines at this point. And it looks like Hasu's starting to transition into a bit more of a capital ship army here as well, getting that one mothership overhead of those 4 carriers, although he does have a handful of Stalkers, Zealots, and a couple of High Templars underneath to help defend against that. And another great feedback there, taking you to see how much that softens up those BCs when they have a lot of energy. And of course that also makes the Yamato cannon upgrade completely useless for those BCs, and it looks like they're going to try to take down these cannons, or I'm sorry, these turrets rather, so that they can get this, make use of the cloak from the mothership. And a great vortex there too, getting a lot of units and mining SCVs into the vortex and continuing to suck more in there too, it looks like. And unfortunately, it looks like there are no interceptors for any of these carriers, just barely getting a few out. And apparently Hasu just now realizing that, trying to pull his carriers back a little bit, although a lot of them have already gone, 2 of them have already gone down to that marine fire, and getting more and more battle cruisers in the mix here. It looks like 2 of those coming out from the vortex there that was just now wearing off, and getting a great Psystorm off though, taking out a lot more of those miners as he was trying to get those units back to mining from that vortex wearing off, but managing to take down a huge amount of workers in that expansion there. And these BCs are going to try to come out here and take down these carriers, but as they're trying to focus fire down those carriers, these stalkers just pounding away, managing to take down 1 already. And there are more and more interceptors coming in for these carriers that did not have any for a while there, and getting another BC, and a 3rd one is going to go down here as well. A lot of BCs just going down for TLO, as he can just not seem to keep up with the amount of stalkers and carriers that Hasu has on this offensive right now. And of course using this proxy pylon to continually warp in units. And here comes some more Marines here, stim packed and ready to go, trying to stop this onslaught of Protoss units at the high yield expansion here, and using all of his mules right now, it looks like, at the high yield, trying to get that base up and running once again. Both players meanwhile taking another expansion, trying to keep this game going in their economic macro, just absolutely out of control right now. And once again trying to just take down this high yield base here for TLO, managing to put a lot of pressure on here. And here comes 3 more High Templars, a decent amount of units. We can see that there's another carrier building, more BCs coming in as well. Oh my goodness, so much Psystorm in this game from Hasu, and managing to take out not only a lot more Marines, but a lot more SCVs once again as well. So just managing to keep SCVs and mules off of this expansion so much. And he is actually trying to take out this last BC, but once again, these carriers are out of interceptors, which is very unfortunate for him. A couple Marines apparently over here at the expansion for Hasu, but a few well-placed Zealots are going to manage to take that harassment down relatively quickly here. More BCs coming up to fortify this position, and 4 turrets going up for TLO at this expansion. He apparently is tired of this carrier harassment at this position and wants to stop it once and for all, so trying to get a lot of anti-air defense up there. And of course, he is not going to be able to stop it right now because none of his carriers have interceptors in them right now, so that is very unfortunate for him, as he cannot continue this pressure. Although 1 DT coming into play now, it looks like, for Hasu, and he is going to come over here and try to do some serious harassment, going to probably be able to pick off a decent amount of workers here. Let's see how many kills this DT can rack up before it's actually taken out of play. Getting 2 kills already, 3 kills, 4 kills. Oh my goodness, that's so much fun to watch DTs get lots of kills. But it looks like he is going to try to move in here and get some more, take out some more of this fortified position. Of course, with all these extra turrets up in place, it looks like Hasu going to have to back off once again, because he just does not have enough to take on all of that ground, air, and turret defense that he has sitting at this base. So TLO, it looks like, is going to be safe to mine at this high yield base for a little bit. However, his expansion that